Hey you guys, welcome back to Thursday Thoughts. I'm Funky Like Feathers, and today we're going to talk about how you can get the most out of your life. So everybody has this type of creativity inside of them. Now there's different types of creativity for different kinds of people, and you just need to find the one that fits you the best. Some people are really good at painting, some people are really good at acting, and other people are amazing at putting things together. My brother is a genius when it comes to fixing things and putting things together and tweaking it so that it works just right. I have no idea how he does this, but somehow he makes it work. My mother, on the other hand, is a jewelry designer. No idea how she comes up with these different ideas, but she does, and she has some beautiful work out there. My husband, again, is kind of like my brother where he can figure things out. My husband works on computers both like the abstract way and the physical way. He can completely deal with computers. I don't even know how. But there is something in their minds that it just kind of clicks, and their creativity comes out in that way. Now, my husband also builds things out of wood. So he's built a lot of the furniture that's in our house. No idea how he does it, but he does it because that's just a type of creativity that he has. One of the reasons that I started doing Camp NaNoWriMo and NaNoWriMo in November is because there is something in me that I've always really enjoyed writing. Writing different stories, coming up with different storylines, and that just kind of clicks for me, and I really enjoy doing it. Now, there are a lot of things that don't make sense in what I write, and there's a lot of stuff that does, but a lot of times it's just that kind of thing that happens in my head, and so I just need an outlet for it. I have to say, one of the most beneficial things that I have done in the past few months is writing, getting back into writing, and I just adore it. I used to paint a lot, especially before I had a kid, but once you have kids, they kind of take up a lot of space, so you don't have a lot of room for things like canvases and art, supplies that take up a lot of room. So I ended up not really painting since I've had my kid, but one thing that I can do anywhere with nothing more than either an iPad, a laptop, or a notebook and pen is write. Let me know how it is that you show your creativity. Do you draw? Do you paint? Do you write? Do you fix things? Do you just come up with all sorts of cool stuff? Let me know down in the comments what it is that you do to be creative. I would love to hear from you. Make sure you hit that like button if you like to be creative. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel so you know when I come up with new videos every Monday and Thursday. And if you want to get access to different documents and special offers that I have on Patreon, you can head over there, become a patron, and get tons of access to those kinds of things. But first, I'm gonna also show you some of the things that I have around my house that keep me creative and motivated to create. So this is a painting by Sarah Moons with Whimsy Lake. It absolutely inspires me. It is directly across from my desk, so I look at it all day long. It's absolutely gorgeous. There are so many different layers to this painting. I just cannot get over it. So this is something I keep in front of me at all times so that it constantly motivates me to be creative. Now this is one of my old pieces, and I'll show you the whole thing. This is one of my old pieces that I did several years ago. It actually has a hand with a simian line on it, which ironically enough, my husband actually has a simian line, which is this one line down the middle. Instead of it being broken up, he has one line that goes all the way across his hand. I didn't even know that when I first painted it, so that was kind of cool. It's been kind of banged up over the years because we've moved so many times, but this is one of my old pieces. As you can tell, I do kind of some abstract stuff, and I'll show you a couple others. So this is another one of my pieces. Ta-da! As you can see, there's also one behind me. I took a lot of classes in college. I took classes at Glassell School of Art down in Houston. I also modeled for a couple of those classes. I love taking figure classes. I think that the human form is awesome. And I really like how the different layers and shades and shadows and all that kind of stuff come out when you have different kinds of lighting and setups. So these are a couple more of my pieces. You can see that I've got these, I call them like Dr. Seuss mountains. kind of things. In every single one of my pieces, it's just something I've always done since about middle school. I think I started doing these things, and I just kind of was laying in bed wondering what it would look like if you pinched the ground and pulled it up. And so that's just kind of what popped up in my head. So these are some of the kinds of pieces that I made. So as you can see, there are tons of different ways to be creative. I really have enjoyed being creative with my words and describing stories. Now, I was also that kind of kid in elementary when we had show and tell. I would tell so much I could make up a story about an object at any point in time that they actually had to stop having show and tell at the school because I would take too long. So I think writing is a good idea for me just to get all the different story ideas out of my head. My kid also has a great sense of creativity. She has tons of different ways that she shows it. As you can see, that is Abraham Lincoln behind me, and she made that out of Legos one day because she was doing a report on Abraham Lincoln from the Who Was series of books, and she decided to make him out of Legos, so why not? So she has a totally different way of looking at things around the world, and I think a lot of times that's kind of all you need to do is look at things from a different perspective, see what it is that you have, and try to work with it. I also have another friend who is a fellow writer who is amazing at art journals, and these are something that has kind of come back into the stream of creativity lately and into the art world is smash journals and art journals in themselves. She is amazing. If you do not know who the Accidental Scribe is, you should definitely look her up on Instagram and Twitter. She has some amazing pieces that she's worked on in her art journal, just so creative and free flowing, and they are beautifully layered pieces that she has in her own journals. I've been trying to get into art journaling lately just to kind of dabble in it because I think it's such an amazing medium. So let me know some projects that you want to work on. What are you working on right now? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys, and I will see you again on Mean Muggin' Monday. Have a great weekend.